showdown is brewing over the control of millions of acres of public lands in the Gem State. In October, Idaho Attorney General Raul Labrador joined Utah in a lawsuit trying to force the federal government to give up control of some of its lands in Idaho. But other politicians say the suit endangers the public lands that Idahoans enjoy. Jude Binkley joins us with a look at these arguments and the case that the U.S. Supreme Court is expected to look at soon. Jude?
Well, Hunter, this lawsuit is over unappropriated land, which is land owned by the feds but not used for any federal purposes, and that includes millions of acres in Idaho. With Idaho's legislative session now underway, a battle is playing out in the background over federal unappropriated lands. In a letter explaining why he filed a brief, Attorney General Raul Labrador said the federal government is getting too involved in local issues, such as the controversial Lava Ridge wind farm project in the Magic Valley, which was approved to be built on federal BLM land. Labrador also says by owning land, federal agencies are able to put their own priorities first, pushing what he calls the Biden-Harris green agenda. But other politicians say the lawsuit endangers the public lands Idahoans enjoy.
I think this is one of the scariest things that very few people know is happening. Our public lands in Idaho are our lifeblood. It's why many of us are here.
House Minority Leader Alana Rebel says it's likely if the lawsuit is successful, some of those public lands would become privatized.
The lawsuit in question is trying to force the federal government to divest itself of these lands, which means sell them. Well, under federal law, they have to sell it for fair market value, which we ain't got that kind of money. When you're looking at nearly 10 million acres of land, I mean, that would be billions of dollars. The state doesn't have that. Local counties don't have that. No government entity in Idaho has that. And so I think that the practical outcome by necessity is that a very, very wealthy individual or a corporation is going to buy that up, and it will be private, and you won't get to go there anymore.
The Supreme Court is expected to decide on whether or not to take up this case soon. Hunter, it'll likely be later this month.
Yeah, something we'll be keeping an eye on. Thank you, Jude.